Good morning. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and this evening for dinner we're going to have a big old pot roast done. Well, 7 a.m. I better get it started. I'm going to do it right. I am 1 week out of shoulder surgery, as y'all can see. So this video is partially I'm bored as crap, and the other part is I'm bored. I'm tired of sitting around. So I'm going to do the best I can to cook this with one arm. Mind you, I got to cut this thing up with one arm. This is going to be fun. But I'm going to show you how I do a pot roast. Now let's start. First thing, I guess we're going to call this cooking with Cathead. Being as how that's my nickname at work. Well, the meat that I got is right here. Try to turn this around. That is about 3 1/4 pounds, not quite 4 pounds, I don't know, between 3 and 4 pounds of grass-fed Black Angus. And it's time to bog it down in a crock pot. I'm just going to show you basically how I cook my pot roast in the crock pot. You know, the first thing I got to do is get that there meat open, and we got to get a good sear on it. Well, as big as that is, and I don't want to make too much of a mess in the kitchen, because I've already got a mess in the kitchen that it's going to take me forever to clean up because I ain't got one hand to use. So let's get at it. I got the grill here. All right, we got her out in the pot. Guess I could have drained it a little bit better, but it don't really matter because this is going to hit the grill anyway. I'm going to sear this thing on the grill because that's the cleanest way to do this, not dirty up the kitchen. Like I said, I got some dishes I got to wash and kind of made my wife leave everything alone so I'd have something to do today. It just takes me a while, only one hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to douse both sides with some accent and some coarse ground black pepper before I sear it. So kind of hard for me to hold the camera and do that at the same time, so I am going to let you go. All right, there we go. When I say doused, I mean doused. Good heavy coating both sides, and the grill should be getting about hot. We're gonna walk out there and brown her up. All right, we're burning the previous cooking grease off. I forgot to burn it off after I cooked them burgers the other day, so I'm gonna burn that off. I got the gas off. We're going to let that burn on out, then we'll get back on it. Alright, got her all burned off. Got the grate scraped up pretty good. Got it sprayed down with some oil. Now we're heating it back up. And we're going to sear this here piece of meat, both sides, really good in my Oklahoma Joe's smoker. I love this grill. I opted for the offset smoker and gas grill combo because I don't cook for big crowds anymore. Had no need for a really big smoker anymore. This one works fine for just me and the wife and the occasional couple people coming over. My Oklahoma Joe is right at 10 years old now, at least. Had to do a little work to it here and there, but I mean it's been well used, so you're gonna have to do some work to it. So here we are. I'm going to flip you around and you can see her heating up. Like that's going to be real exciting or something. She's heating up. Like I said, she's been around the block. Finally threw her second cover away. Overall, this is the Longhorn combo or whatever it was. Like I said, it's a offset smoker. You got a grill in there in that little part, but that's your firebox. And you got a charcoal grill in here, works great. Then you got your gas grill over here. And I mean, this is perfect size for us, you know, whenever we're doing Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, I can smoke a turkey and make everybody happy. It is an offset smoker, so you have to tend the crap out of it. You have to get a feel for it. And you cannot walk away from it while you're smoking. But if you're patient and you work it like it's supposed to be and pay attention to what you're doing and pay attention to that temperature up there, then you can make a damn fine smoked meal. Now we're heating back up here. I'm getting ready to throw this slab on here, and I'm gonna see if I can hold this camera with my bad arm Yep. And we're gonna grab this hunk of meat. I'm cooking for me and my wife. I'm barehanded. I ain't cooking in a restaurant. I don't want to hear no crap from nobody about not wearing gloves. There we go. We're gonna put it on there and we're gonna toast the shit out of both sides of it. Not to the point of burnt, but we're gonna sear it really good. Alright, let's see what we got here. Ow. I think she's looking pretty good. Like I said, you want to sear the crap out of it, but you don't want to burn it. You don't want that charred flavor. Another minute, I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to go ahead and cut it up and throw it in the crock pot. I'm not going to videotape that because cutting up is going to be a challenge for me. But we're going to get it done. Once I get that done, then I'll show you where we go from there. Alright, that's what she looks like getting cut up. She looks good. Looks real good. Got a nice sear on that there meat. That'll give it a good flavor. Having to take a break at the moment because this is kind of hard to do with one hand. And it being kind of cool outside in the 50s, it's got my shoulder not happy. But, I don't know. In a month or so, I get it back. I'll be good to go. Wife's starting to call me Go Gadget or Inspector Gadget because all the fake joints that I now have. So, I'm going to continue on after a short break. Meatball seems very interested in what I'm doing. What are you doing, girl? I don't know if y'all can see her, if the light's right. She's dark colored in a shadow. There's a reason I call her Meatball. And it's probably pretty obvious now. She's really interested in what I'm doing at the moment. Go figure. So hey, Meatball. Meow. Meow. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright, it's all cut up into pot. Pot is on high. 8 o'clock in the morning, well, 10 minutes after 8. So, after we do what we're fixing to do, we ain't gonna do nothing else for a while. And remember, don't try to season this thing perfect outright from the get-go, because you don't need to do that. It's gonna change on you. So get it in the ballpark and then season the flavor. I ain't no professional chef, but I am a professional pawpaw. And I am Southern. So I don't measure jack nothing. So y'all just kind of have to go along with what I toss in there. I don't know how much it's gonna be. And I especially don't know how much it's going to be in the end because, like I said, you got to season it to the flavor that you want when you finish up. Now, I'm going to try to hold this camera with my right hand, which is in the sling, and season with my left hand. Let's see if this is going to work. Yeah, that's not comfortable, but okay. First thing, instant coffee. Yes, don't laugh. This is a very time tested and actually passed down from family. And it's about that much. I don't know. That was like 4 or 5 tablespoons. Now we're going with some cumin. Don't take a whole lot of this stuff. I put a little bit of this in to start, and I won't revisit this unless it's just absolutely noticeable not enough, which that is rarely the case. Alright, now we put some basil in there. Yep, I'm not measuring, don't know. I'll be adjusting this as it cooks. This is not easy to do. But, for any of y'all that's fixing to have surgery, and trust me on this, I have had my share. These little simple things, this is garlic powder. These little simple things I'm doing here, salt, and black pepper, more of it. Yep, coarse ground black pepper, I love that stuff. These little simple things, that's all I put in it, by the way. That's it for now. When I come back and as I taste it, I will add salt, I will add some black pepper, and I will add some garlic. maybe some coffee. Maybe not. I don't know. We just have to see where we're at after a while. But doing this stuff is painful as hell, especially if you've just had surgery. As long as you don't sit there and go outside of the limitations that your doctor put on you, this is the stuff that's going to help you. Your everyday movement, as painful as it can be, as sore as it makes it, you just got to do it. And instead of sitting there in front of the TV, get up and do as much moving as you can. Trust me on this. I am not a rookie when it comes to getting joints put back together. This old millwright's been be the robotic man, the $6 million man before it's over with. But at this point, we're going to let this cook for a long time. And I'll flash the camera against the clock when we make our next little segment. Catch you after a while. I don't know if y'all can see that. About 12 o'clock. 8, when we really started, got the heat to it, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 hours. We're getting ready to, we're going to add 3 medium to small onions, and I'm going to add about 3/4 of that little bag of carrots. I like to cook carrots. That's my thing. And meatballs helping. Give y'all a comparison. Come here, girl. That there is a size 12 wide foot. Get that big old girl walking around. Now you know why I call it meatball. But yeah, that's where we at. 4 hours later, the meat's about halfway, a little over halfway done. I'm gonna put this in there. I just tasted for flavor. Flavor's great. I actually don't have to add anything at this point. I'll probably end up adding more salt after we get all these vegetables cooked in. The last thing I add is going to be my taters. I don't want my taters to be mashy, to be just falling slam apart. I like them to have a little bit of substance to them. So I won't put them in until about an hour and a half or so before the end of it. But that's where we at. I'm going to get started. And there's how I cut my taters up. Nothing fancy. I don't dice them up real small. And I don't leave them big hunks either. You do you. You do them like you want to, but this is how I like to do mine. Alright, now it's 2 o'clock. I'm going to cut these taters into quarters. And we're going to throw them in here. And that means by 3:30, 4 o'clock, this thing will be perfect. Now, what I plan on doing to thicken this up, I'm not going to show all that. And I'm not going to show cutting these taters up because obvious reasons, this is a challenge. And I don't have a tripod anywhere around here. Not that cutting up potatoes would be something that you really care about looking at. Anyway, thickening up. The way I thicken this up is I boil some water, a small little bit of water. I take a small coffee cup, well, standard size coffee cup, not my grown ass man coffee cup. But then we'll take that little coffee cup with some boiling water, and I'll mix in some cornstarch and make a cooked cornstarch paste, and that's what I'll add to thicken it up. Thicken it up how you want to. And I gave all this talk about not seasoning and not trying to make seasoning perfect out the gate, but to go along, add it as you go, and season it to your taste. Well, I ain't added nothing else. First time in my life I've ever done a stew beef and not had to add at least a little bit more salt or pepper. But I nailed it. Oh well. One in a row. So, the next time y'all see this, it will be done. I'm not going to thicken it real heavy. My wife doesn't like it super thick. So, the starch just going to leach out of the potatoes as they cook. They will add just enough thickness for it, most likely, to where I'll do the minimum on the cornstarch. And then everything will be good. And there you go. That's how I cook my roast beef. Later. And one more thing. I like to leave the skin on the potatoes. That's what I like to do. Some people like skin, some people don't. You do you. Do it like you want to. And this is not a hardcore recipe, as you can tell. It's more of a old Southern guideline than anything else. But yep, we got potatoes in there, and by putting the potatoes in this late in the game, I will have done cooked potatoes, but I won't have potatoes ready to be made into mashed potatoes. They'll be cooked, they'll be done, but they'll be somewhat firm. I don't like my potatoes just falling apart. If I want that, I just make mashed potatoes. But that's me. All right, next stop, it's gonna be done. All right, we done. Our pot roast is finished. Everything is perfect as I try to cut this with bad hand. Meat's perfect. Potatoes are perfect. And of course my carrots are perfect. And all that's left to do is boil a little bit of rice up. Then we got dinner for the family. Y'all have a good one. It's time to eat. Bye.